Hello. And again, we're coming to you from the villa in the county of Umbria, the city of Perugia, with our red wine. And here today, we have Mia. No, I didn't say Maya. I said Mia. This is our earliest that we can recall, almost before the time of Christ, our earliest drug smuggler. As you can tell, all of her garments are wrapped up. She's holding, right here as you can see, a ton of drugs. And as you can see around her neck, these are edibles. They would create these by a cauldron of hot fire mixed with PCP, methamphetamine, marijuana. Yeah, marijuana. And they would lick them like a candy necklace. And they would get high of dementia. If you can tell in her eyes, if you can zoom into her eyes, she has no pupils whatsoever. She was zonked out completely. And around all this clothing here was just to hide the drug smuggling. With all her crazy pockets and all her crazy smuggling, she carried an abundant amount of gold and silver. And needless to say, she is the long-lost grandmother to El Chapo. Yeah, I said El Chapo. It's not Italian, but there's a relation there. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Good night.
Hello, and welcome back to Drunk History at the Villa in Umbria. Here we are again with our red wine, and I am Reverend Dan, here to tell you about the lovely Francesca. Francesca was painted between the ages of the 1400s and 1500s. You can tell by the classic brushstrokes that this was from this time era. What you can see is this is what is known as one of the original tasteful nudes. She's still in her nightgown, yet at the same time you can still see a little what they deemed as the nip slip. It's Italian. This was in response to her romantic affair with Alonso from Lecco. Alonso from Lecco sent her a letter. It said, "Les send nudes." And at the time, there was no immediate photography, so here we find Francesca in her lovely painting, in her lovely nightgown. We have a question from the gala.
Dan, how long did it take for those nudes to get to her alleged lover?
That is a great question. By the time this tasteful nude was reached Alonso and Lecco, and something I need to point out, this clearly was not painted in Umbria, for we find the ocean in the background. The ocean in the background likely comes from the west coast, as this is clearly a sunrise. So I am going to say something around Venice is where this Francesca dwelled, and her lover was in Lecco. Based on that, my calculations indicate that it took 1 month and 12 days and maybe 13 hours for her painting to arrive at Alonso. By then he had had 3 affairs, one with his sister, one with his aunt, and one with his donkey. Alonso.
I've just been leaving this all over the place.
So
Thank you.
here we find her hair, her flowing hair, and this is where the brushstrokes come in. The way that the hair is illustrated with the paintbrush. Those are strokes from the 1500s. And here we find a lovely peach color chosen for the nightgown that is to match the lovely peach of her buttocks. It is quite firm, and that is what Alonso truly desired. Again, it is my understanding that after this tasteful nude was delivered to Alonso. He had by then moved on, and the couple sadly did not progress in their affairs. However, she had many lovers. I believe she wound up marrying her Uncle Larry for money. And that is the story of Francesca.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hello. We come to you once again from the villa of Perusha. We are here to talk about the marriage of two families. One which was all male, and one which was all female. The other thing I want to point out here is that this family was allergic to shoes. None of them wore shoes. They were allergic to any sort of fabric on their feet, any sort of leather, any sort of, gosh darn it, anything on their feet, socks, whatever. This family had some stuff. We got black shoes, red shoes, orange shoes. I'm sure this person right here was probably wearing some yellow shoes. The reason that this family got married, and we're going to make this quick, is because they were forced to, because this person was able to break the stick. Can you zoom in on this? Without breaking this stick, there would be no marriage. But because they broke this stick, there is now a marriage between this all male, all female, and that's it on the story. Husband and wife, not wife and wife, not husband and husband, male, female.
Woohoo! We got a crowd on this one! Hamstring stretchers.
Oh, I thought you were gonna get the.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I just got full video of everything. Nailed it.
Oh, nailed it.
Nailed it.
Right.
It's more like it's like yep. He's like, oh my gosh, these flowers. Yep.
Post this!
Alright. I posted that. Wait, what? What did you do to him? Get the one off your nose. Get it off your nose. Alright, good.
Hello, and welcome back to Drunk History at the Villa. I am Dan. Here is my red wine. And here is Le Bruce. Le Bruce was a painting back in the time of Michelangelo. Michelangelo originally painted this. This is since a printing from Caravaggio. It's fine. Michelangelo did the original. As you can notice, this is Bruce, Le Bruce. In this painting, we find Le Bruce. He is dreaming of his lover Jerome. Jerome is from Florence. Here we have Le Bruce. He is from Rome. They are star-crossed lovers, for they are from very different regions. This fruitful basket depicts his fruitful nature because of the sword play between him and Jerome. Michelangelo decided to display Le Bruce in sort of a exhausted yet yearning sort of je ne sais quoi. I'm sorry, that's French. I'm working on it. But it's he's exhausted, but yet he still yearns for Jerome. And what's important to understand, at this time, this was the time of the Zaccoletto, which is the teenage trollops, which Le Bruce was one of. So he roamed the streets of Rome. Sorry for the pun, I apologize. And he had many lovers, including Pope Innocent VII. Not so innocent, they would say. But Le Bruce, his heart, it belonged to Jerome in Florence. The sad nature of this painting is shortly hereafter, he could take it no longer, and he attempted to travel to Florence. But on the stipend of a Zappaletta, he found himself hoisted up en route by bandits, and he was stripped of not only his coin but of his robe. And since then, he has been He's resided in the domicile of the region's maestro, and since he has been apologese, I went too long. He fell into the maestro's hands of Pietro, and Pietro, he kept the chocolate until he was no longer of interest, and our dear Le Bruce was cast out into the countryside. There he became a farmer, and he continued to grow such beautiful fruit, which today we enjoy in wonderful Italia. Cheers and good night.
Bravo!
History. This is an account of a political insurrection many years ago. This is an artist's rendition of what it was like to be in politics many years ago. This guy right here. He had just presented legislation that would change the world, and he thought that he had it. You see his art. He's like this. He's like, victory is ours. Ignore him. Everyone wants to see him, but ignore him. He's nothing. This guy, he's like, ignore me, but he's the most brilliant one of the bunch. He has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's got 7 sentences written. And they're going to change the world. They're going to change the world. They're going to fall into Dan's hands. And they're going to be amazing. Holy crap. What are they doing? What are they doing? She's trying to get away, but he won't let her. And then there's this thing. This is Chucky. It's Chucky. He made movies. And then there's Justin. Yes, his name is Justin. You figure it out. What else did you do?
I might have to get this in a wide angle. Okay. All right, go ahead.
You ready to recap time?
We're going.
Oh, alright. Well, hello. Welcome to Drunk History, and we're here in Umbria at the Villa. And here I'd like to tell you the history of the Mangini Five in 2 generations. So what we have here, you can see in the red dresses, are Generation 1, and that is Sisters Piazza, Reneza, Paluzza, Amaza, and Ragusa. And then we've got the 2nd generation, and that's, we've got Ragusa, we've got Nikulza, we've got Aluza, Ragusa, and Maluza and Aluza. And they're all in a ceremony right now, and they're telling us about how the 2 generations become one. This is a very traditional ceremony that the Italians do, and they bring the two generations together. And what you've missed is there was the killing of a boar, there was a lot of pasta making, we made Italian wedding cookies, and there was a lot of other stuff that went along. There were some sacrificial lambs of some childhood prostitutes, but we don't talk about them. But then now they all do this dance, and this is the extent of the dancing abilities of the Mangini family. You're seeing it live, and once this dance is done, what they'll do is they'll drink an excessive amount of wine. And once the wine is gone, they'll find more wine. And once that wine's gone, they'll find more wine. And they'll just continue with the wine drinking until everyone's passed out and gone and no one's here to hear them tell those tales anymore. And then we lose the history. So this picture is really specific because we have all of their names here in stone because they're the only ones that were remembered in this picture. There might have been more later, but we'll never remember them. So this is a nice homage to the two Mangini 5 generations, and cheers to drunk history.
Hello. Once again, we're coming to you live from Perugia, Umbria, with a glass of wine. And this drunk history for this piece of art is going to be the future of Oceanside, California, 2050. As you can tell, the landscape has driven upward, where we have very high scaffoldings, where the buildings are looking over the ocean, and everything's so golden from the sunset that it's reflecting on the buildings, as you can see in this part. Weird how it's reflecting on these parts, because there's a mirror that you can't see over here. The mirror is reflecting the sunsets on these parts. And you're wondering why there's Walter here, so close. Walter? Global warming. Trump, you're an idiot. Because obviously global warming is happening. And we will reside to gondolas to go on the other side of the wall. And we will reside to gondolas to get to our friend's house. Okay?
Our friend Juan?
Our friend Juan lives in this apartment right here. Thank you so much for reminding me of that, Rob. Juan lives right here. Juanito lives in the next door. And right next door here, Roberto's. The best taco shop around at that time in 2050.
Hey Clayton. What's your order from Roberto's?
At this time in 2050,
Makes sense for that.
I am asking for authentic egg, authentic bacon, and authentic potatoes with a little bit of salsa. Because in these days, nothing's authentic. It's all fake. It's all fake. I mean, you look at this picture. What do you think? Cheers.
Oh, yes, drunk history. Drunk history painted this portrait. It's not a portrait, it's a landscape of something. I have no idea what it is, but let's talk about Italy. Essential Italy. In Essential Italy, we can travel all over Italy. There is that place. There is the Essential Italy from Photos. There is this place. Oh, yes.
Where am I going to
Let's
read
talk
that?
about, let's talk about side trips from Rome.
Oh God, no side girls, right, Rod?
No, those are over there. And we have... Yeah, sorry, nothing else. Got nothing. But this landscape is beautiful. This is right in the center of Rome. You wouldn't know it because the Colosseum is over here. And the Forum. Yes, the Forum. Thank you. The Forum is over there.
Thanks, wifey.
And in here, you can't see them. But there's lions and tigers that are going to eat you because they lived under the Forum.
Rob. You said lions and tigers.
There's no bears.
What about bears?
There's no bears.
All right.
There are no bears.
Are there green fairies? That looks like the green fairies live in that forest.
There might be, but you wouldn't know it. Because the green fairies, you'll never detect.
If you tap your heels together 3 times, do you go to
No,
Rome?
no, that's totally freaking Wizard of Oz shit. And it doesn't happen.
So what happens in this forest?
In this
Tell
forest,
Would you like to know?
You figure it out.
you wouldn't come with me to this forest. 'Cause
Rod, what happens in the forest?
what happens in the forest stays.
You must be 18 or older to enter the forest, correct?
You must be this high to go on this ride. But
Let's talk about the beauty of the picture.
the beauty of the
Who
picture.
painted this picture?
I didn't find it all that beautiful myself. I just took on the challenge. But there's a red spot there, and one there, and one there.
And what are those red spots?
And there's a path going up here, and there's fairies over here.
Oh, you said there were no fairies. You lied. You to your audience.
No fairies.
You
Crap.
said no fairies.
No fairies.
We don't believe you now.
It's a fairy free
Why should
zone.
it be your audience?
It's a very
The
freezing.
fairies are down here at the river, taking people across to the other side.
Oh.
It's nefarious.
Ah.
So,
Damn with the pun, everyone. Damn with the pun.
What's on the other side of this forest?
but this path goes up to here, and here goes into a place in the forest. And in this place in the forest, the real fairies reside. Who am I kidding?
Good. Keep going with the real fairies. Keep going with the real fairies.
Okay, going with real fairies. They reside there. Right there. There's a hole there.
There's a hole there? Let me zoom in.
And there's fairies in the hole.
Oh my god, there's really a hole there.
It's right there.
What's inside?
You can see it.
Yep, I see
Black
it.
hole. There's a black hole there.
What's inside?
There's a
the
black hole where all the fairies are.
Are they good fairies or bad fairies?
And it's a mix. It's a mix.
Mix.
I said a Mexican for a second. I was about to exit out and I was about to delete this. Oh,
Slippery socks.
he's good. He's got married. And welcome to the villa once again in Perugia. Tonight we have the white wine, and it's really good. But we have Platunia, the midget of the villa of Umbria, and we have Magnolia. Does everybody know what Magnolia means?
Tell us.
No. 30 seconds. Okay? Platunia here is going to be feeding her the grapes. But the grapes are filled with drugs. And the drugs are really dangerous. A lot of things had to do with drugs back in those days. That's why these people were crazy. They wear togas and they sit around and they eat their grapes and they just, oh my gosh. Such a great lifetime. Well, cheers to them.
Clayton, I have a question.
Yes.
What is up with the flamingo in the background?
Fuck the flamingo.
Welcome to our next installment of the very exceptional drunk history of the villa. Here we are in the Venetian scene. This is the very first drunk history of the Flowtopia. As you've heard from Southern California, Flowtopia is something that has been celebrated for many a year. It originated here, where you see that you have several floatable boats, most of them propelled by young boys, etc., who are not of yet age to be propelling the boats when they're partaking of the delicious wine. And so, you see, they are starting off on their voyage.
Is that the delicious wine or the delicious swine?
All of the above. All of the above. And so, you might realize that this is not always the most, smart of their strategies in terms of having festivals on the water. So now there's a lot of restrictions replaced these days on how and when these certain festivals are partaken of. But at this time, and in further years, they have erected things called dams. So they have prolonged the procession of these wonderful festivals.
I see
So
there's
that-
no motors.
No.
I see there's no motors.
You don't need no mortars because you have your young boys who are sober and capable of propelling you along these wonderful waterways, which is what you see here in the early days as they are embarking on their joyous journeys. And you can be certain, see these little huts? They got a lot of meat and cheese and breads in theirs. Yep, Check that out. Everyone's taking a picnic with them, for sure. No one's making stops. It's all great. But as the years have progressed, these wonderful voyages have attracted more and more visitors, which have created a little bit of a problem for the managers of our waterways. So it sounds much like more of their problem than ours. But as so far, we will continue to pursue our way down these waterways with our snacks, with our drinks, and with our young boys to propel us. And that is how we are here today, to prolong the memory and the tradition of this wonderful
Flotilla.
Utopia.
Flowtopia.
Are you ready?
We're ready.
We're waiting on you, like always.
Psych, because I restarted the video, suckers.
Welcome to Drunk History.
Nothing.
Stop it. Palazzo, Prinalia, Umbria.
In Perugia.
Perugia. Welcome to our scene. This takes place on a beach on Capri. We know this because in the background is the Amalfi Coast. On the beach, trash washes up from the people in Amalfi. They throw their trash out onto the waterway. It washes up on Amalfi. And they are collecting it. They are trying to preserve the coast in the name of Melissa Pector.
Shut up.
She picks up the trash and she wonders why. Why do we have to do this day after day? Trash needs to be picked up. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, Saturday. They don't get it. Every day of the week, the trash needs to be picked up.
And who better to pick up the trash than Zacaletas?
Zacaletas.
She's our savior.
The Zacaletas.
She or there.
They.
Yes.
They.
Yeah.
With their beautiful, glowing, flowing.
Can we talk about why the beach was named after Melissa Pector?
Let's do that. Let's do that.
So, Melissa Pector wants to be a saint. The Saint of Capri. And she hired said Zacaletas to give them a grander purpose in life, and so they could have a day job and not just a night job. So she figured what better than to clean up the environment, and the town loved her, and they named her Melissa Pector, Saint of Capri, for freeing the Zacaletas from the chains of their night jobs.
And you notice the shark in the background.
Ooh, yes, we do have a
The
shark.
shark.
Nothing they can do about that.
let me
No one
zoom
goes
in.
swimming on that day. Yeah, lifeguards close the beach.
Everyone
That looks like
sees
that
that
looks
little.
like a beige orchid.
Shark tastes really well, and they all love seafood. So, at the end of the day, they know that they get to eat the fresh shark
You're killing the sharks?
if they pick up
Not if
enough
you're
trash
expecting
along the beaches of Capri.
Did we cover it all?
I'm not sure, because this is so dark.
That one's
This is
troubled.
Question.
She's troubled. Yes, Clayton.
Yes, Clayton.
Do you know any of their names?
Yes.
Melly Ray, Melissa Stink, Mel P, and Kayla. Yeah, the posture.
Because we only see her back in every photo. This is her usual stance.
Not pictured. Diaper Pilly Kayla.
Question?
Yes, Rod. Yes, yes, yes.
Why do they not have toes?
The toes are buried in the
Oh, there
sand.
are toes. It's just you
There are
gotta
toes.
zoom.
Yeah,
They're like
toes.
camel
but
toes.
they're like
They have like camel toes.
camel toes.
Camel toes right now. When the clothing fits.
Camel
Camel
Yes.
toe. It happens.
Do they know what
Did we
camel
address all-
toes are?
At that time, maybe not.
Hopefully not.
Are there any other questions
They
we can
started
address
the
in
trend.
class? No? Well, this was our painting of how the St. Melissa Beach came to be.
God bless the
Cheers to
Zacaletas.
drunk history.
Cheers. And nobody should ever drink white wine and drink
It's
this.
horrible. Or rosé. Yeah, only red.
I agree.
Doing it for show.
Only red. Ta-da.
And that will be your.